Hi, I'm Sweet Sylvanians, and I make videos about Sylvanian families, also known as Calico critters. And today I have some news and updates about the parks in Japan. So I went to Japan in May and June, and you may have seen some of my videos, including my tour review of Grinpa Sylvanian Park at the base of Mount Fuji. In there, I said I was a little disappointed as it seemed a bit run down and that they had removed some of the Sylvanian attractions. Well, this week they have announced some new and revamped additions. So let's start with the restaurant. The main Grinpa Park restaurant used to be Sylvania kitchen themed, but now it's a generic wild grill with a kind of hunting lodge theme, though you can still see the Sylvanian restaurant shape from the outside. But now there's going to be a sweets or dessert cafe with Sylvanian themed treats for sale, called Sylvanian Forest Kitchen Little Sweet Shop. They have this concept art for the cafe with quite a few tables with babies sat at them, so you'll be able to eat with the babies beside you like at the pop-ups. There's this weird kind of hexagon area at the front, and this looks like it will be a booth with more seating. In terms of menus, weirdly the photos of the food are very low quality, but at least the text descriptions are legible. It's mostly sweets with some donuts, a berry bagel and a churro, but also a salmon bagel and pizza slices. Lots of options for ice creams themed after the babies. There's mint, strawberry, vanilla, soda and chocolate, and each of these have a little decorative pic to go in them. Then drinks and a special parfait option which looks very pretty. Here's a slightly better picture of what that will look like. And in terms of merchandise, there's coasters if you spend over 700 yen, and these have the babies on, and a plate you can buy in combination with a drink and donut, and that has the Grinpa logo on. So yeah, quite a few things, and I think this is great news as I always think themed food is fun at an amusement park, and this Sylvanian bakery which used to be at Grinpa was removed, so there haven't been any options up until now. From the mock-up, I think this will be added to the main Sylvanian shop area, specifically this one which is currently called the Sylvanian Museum. And it's based off the shape of buildings like the 1997 Sunny Room, and also the Applewood and Bramble cafes as the top level of the department stores. And while I understand that's a good location for the cafe, I'd be disappointed if they changed this room, as it's currently a museum with displays and lots of families in. The diorama is lovely to look at with lots of details, so I hope they relocate it elsewhere, but if not, I've got a full tour and recording of it. So yeah, that's the new Sylvanian Forest Kitchen Little Sweet Shop, which opens on the 29th of July. But there are more changes too. The green roof house on the hill was closed when I went to Grinpa, and then covered in scaffolding a few weeks later, so that did seem like it would be getting an update. And now the park has said that it will be reopening, and also that the second floor upstairs will be Wonderful House on a Green Hill Museum and Photo Studio. So there will be exhibits and photo spots, and this has more detail on those new dioramas across the 2 floors of the house, which have some very cute sounding themes. I'd definitely be excited to see the flower field and ski resort ones. Again, this just looks like a mock-up illustration, but I can see the vision they're going for. I do wonder if the museum part of this museum and photo studio will be the exhibits from the current museum as a way to repurpose them. The building itself is really big, though I could only see it like this through the windows, so there could definitely be enough room for those too. But then I wonder what will happen to the furniture that's currently inside. But either way, it's nice that this iconic building will be reopened for visitors to go inside, and that it will be free to enter as well. Because compared to the old version of the attraction, where it was just the Periwinkle Rabbit family's house, that cost 300 yen to go in. And the final major update to Grinpa Park is the school museum building. This is based off the real-life Sylvanian family St John's School. When I went, the ground floor of this had a fantastic large diorama around 2 sides of the room, and lots of individual buildings displayed in the centre, including some rarer ones. This page now says it will have a cinema with an 85-inch screen and show the Sylvanian family's animated videos. Again, this is only concept art of what the cinema will look like, but the description suggests it will be good for screenings and also more of an event space for other things too. I don't know if this will be on the ground floor and replace the displays, or if it will be upstairs in the floor that was blocked off on my visit. I'm leaning towards it being on the ground floor because there's this space with the fake blackboard which looks the same, but it could be the same layout upstairs as well. This school building has been used for other purposes in the past as well. For example, this archived page shows it was once used for activity classes, which would fit with being taught something inside of a school. Like with the museum, I hope these displays are put to use if this cinema replaces the ground floor, and maybe they'll also go in the House on the Hill building. So that's the updates to the main Sylvanian Park, but Grinpa is unique in having Sylvanian accommodation next to it at the Pika campground. This was where I stayed the night before, in a little lodge modelled after the Copper Beach cottage. And there are two new Sylvanian things here. Firstly, what they describe as the exciting play cottage. I think this is just one new cottage to stay in, and I'm excited to see if it's modelled after a Sylvanian house or if one of the non-Sylvanian cottages will be renovated. And I think the 5 in here references the other 4 existing Sylvanian accommodations. So there's a little house in the forest which I stayed in, then this one which is called the Cute House in Strawberry Forest, and 2 of these pre-set up tent pictures which I think were new for 2024. The only picture of the new cottage is very generic and doesn't show a whole lot, but the description makes it seem like it will be decorated inside with a Sylvanian theme. The cottage was set for reservations to begin on the 22nd of July, but Pika then posted this announcement saying that it would be delayed for a month and reservations will begin on the 22nd of August instead. The announcement also says about the new fire pit, along with this design showing it surrounded by a long bench and some large figures there too. As far as I was aware, the only existing Sylvanian things within the campsite were the 2 houses as accommodation and those newer themed tent pictures. So I think the fire pit especially would be a great addition and make more people want to stay at Pika on their trip to Grinpa. Personally, I am a bit sad that I missed out on these things by just a couple of months, but it's really positive news overall, and I'm glad Grinpa isn't being forgotten about with the other newer Sylvanian parks in Japan, Ibaraido and Harvest Hill Osaka. I'm curious if these additions make international collectors more likely to go, as I only really see content about Harvest Hill, even though Grinpa is larger and the location with Mount Fuji is a fantastic selling point too. So thank you for watching this video. Let me know if you have any theories beyond what's been announced already with the mock-up of designs, and would this make you more likely to go to Grinpa and Pika? If you like Sylvanian Families content, then subscribe to my channel as I post videos every week about everything Sylvanian, including unboxings, hauls, and news and announcements like this.